Elliot Anton. That's the name of our nearly 13-year-old son. However, a friend of ours recently asked us why we didn't name him Elliot Elliot rather than Elliot Anton. Why is that, I asked. But she said, you never say his name once, you always say it twice. And upon reflection, she's right. It's actually always Elliot, 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 Elliot. Now, there's actually a medical explanation for why it is that we can't get our son's attention the first time that we call his name. Elliot suffers from allergies. He's allergic to dust. He's allergic to some trees. And while we haven't had him tested for this, we're pretty certain that he's also allergic to silence. When Elliot is awake, he's also talking or singing or humming or whistling or strumming his air guitar or burping the alphabet or tapping his pencil or patting his legs. And Elliot's awake a lot of the time. So we have to sift through a lot of sound in order to get his attention. The good news about this is that the 3 times in his life when he has been quiet, we knew that something was seriously wrong. Usually he was worried. One of those occasions happened when Elliot was 8 years old. We had just adopted a 6-month-old standard poodle puppy named Basbo. Before we had adopted this puppy, however, we had already made arrangements to go on a 2-week family vacation out west, so we knew we were going to have to leave our dog behind. Not wanting to burden anybody else with the responsibility of house training our dog, though that would have been nice, we decided to kennel him. Elliot and I were designated to be the family members to take Basbo to the kennel the morning of our vacation. So Basbo and Elliot and I got into the car. And as we were driving to the kennel, Elliot was in the back seat talking and singing and humming and whistling and strumming his air guitar and burping the alphabet and tapping his pencil and patting his legs. We got into the kennel, we dropped the dog off, we said goodbye, and we got back in the car. And as we were driving back home to get the other family members, I noticed that Elliot's allergies were starting to act up. It was getting very quiet in the back seat. What's wrong, buddy? Mom, can anything bad happen to a dog in a kennel? Now, a good mother at this point would simply lie to her child and say, why no, dear, nothing bad can happen to a dog in a kennel. But I have this image that I want to be like those mothers in the movies who always have the most beautiful thing to say to their children at these moments. Things that their children will carry with them for the rest of their lives. Like, why no, dear, kennels are perfectly safe places. And if you keep Basbo tucked in your heart, he'll know that you're the one watching out for him. Gee, Mom, thanks. But that's never how it works at my house because I can never think of the right thing to say at these moments. So as I was driving down the road, I was trying to imagine what my 2 older and wiser sisters might say to their children, or what Mary Poppins would say, or Mike and Carol Brady. And then it occurred to me that I could tell Elliot a funny story that I know about a dog who had been to the kennel. And before I knew what was happening, I'd sort of forgotten that Elliot was in the back seat as I was driving ahead, and my mouth just drove right into the story of Buddy, an amorous, frolicsome, devoted 10-year-old black Labrador retriever